Ceramic coating is easy until it isn't. So today we're going to cover 5 mistakes you can avoid when ceramic coating. So for those of you who are getting new into detailing or customizing and really anything with coatings and wraps, ceramic coating is basically a liquid and you can apply it on top of the surface of the vehicle, but also on top of vinyl. And I think the number one mistake, and some of the mistakes I'm going to be talking about, is what you would get something called high points. So ceramic coating, the main thing is you want to even it out and you want to make sure that all of them are evenly distributed, and that's really the number one thing. The other thing about ceramic coating, especially for certain types of ceramic coating like SiO2, it can what we call flash really quickly and really dry, and then it hardens so quickly that you can't buff it out anymore. And once you do, it becomes really difficult to get off, and then you get this high points, and it almost looks like a permanent smudge, and that's not good. And we'll put some photos of what that actually looks like, and that's what this video is about. 5 mistakes that I've seen some of our customers make, but also people learning make. So mistake number 1 is going to be applying too large of an area. So first off, we're going to show you in this panel, a lot of people try to do too much instead of doing it in sections. So whenever I do ceramic coating, I try to study the car first and try to figure out what I need to do, right? So on a hood, that's a little bit easier, but if you look at this panel, there's an obvious body line. So you could actually do it like up here first and then do this section. This section's kind of small, so you could probably just put it in with the bottom portion. So that's like what I would typically do. You could even half it out right here if you wanted to, but what it gets a little bit more difficult in that case is it's kind of hard because it's like it goes out and then in and into these valleys. So I typically like going this way, and this is a pretty small surface area. So whenever you're doing ceramic coating, you do want to put gloves because it is a chemical compound. You want to go ahead and go heavy on the first one. Basically start from the center and then go all the way out, and then we create basically a river, and then you're gonna go all the way through like this. So what you're actually doing is typically, this is an awkward panel, and we purposely picked this awkward panel because I think people will struggle with this, is we created the heaviest coating down the center, and then we created a perimeter around it, and then we basically went over it again, and as I hit that middle, it spreads it out. And then it goes in and then you spread it out. You have to be very methodical when you do ceramic coating. But the number 2 mistake we see is too little coating or too much, right? This is a 50 mil. This is plenty enough for a whole car. But the first one, you do want to definitely use a lot. But after that, it starts to kind of saturate the coating applicator, and then you don't have to go as much the first time. So mistake number 3, which is going to be about the towels, okay? So I like using different colors, and we use blue one and then we use a yellow one for the buffing. And you do something called leveling, okay? So you want to hold it like this, and all you're doing is you're basically spreading it across. We call that leveling. And by the way, guys, after you're done with ceramic coating, you should throw away this microfibers because they do crystallize and then they're not really going to be useful anymore. And then you use a different color so you don't forget. This is where you start buffing all these areas. And when you do this process, guys, you also need to make sure you go past that area, and if you got into other areas, to make sure you buff it all out. And then you can see, before you move on, you can kind of see from the light, off light, and then see if you see any smudges. The main thing, guys, though, is you don't want to like move fast, actually, especially in the beginning. You want to move a little slower. So mistake number 4 is you have to do ceramic coating last. PPF is no longer going to stick. So I actually already have PPF over this, and then I just ceramic coated, and I can feel that it's already pretty sleek. If I were to try to put PPF, right, let's go ahead and try that out. You can already see it's kind of like this. And then I got a squeegee somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and just squeegee it all down. So it looks like it's sticking, but what you'll notice later That's kind of what will happen, right? So you really want to make sure that you don't use ceramic coating. I mean, obviously we didn't let this set at all. We were just doing a demo, but you really don't want to ceramic coat it and then try to PPF. So our last mistake that we've seen and that we're going to cover is not waiting enough to cure, exactly like I did. I literally just sprayed it immediately. You do not want water like I just did before it cures. And typically you just want to leave it overnight and then let it really bake into that clear coat or ceramic coating if you are doing it over paint protection film if you're doing it over that. So I totally broke all my rules, but that's just for you. So hopefully that was a quick and dirty video about some of the mistakes that you may come across, and you can avoid that if you are going to do this DIY, or maybe you're starting in your shop. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. I probably should finish this whole door now that the top is done, so we're going to go ahead and get it done. We'll see you later.